Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you how to make this corset top. I already cut my patterns, but I have a video on my channel that shows how to draft corset patterns, so I just extended it to the length that I wanted since I'm making a crop top. But for this I'm not using the regular 2-cup patterns that you guys have seen me use in previous videos, so I decided to try out a different method. So I joined the upper part of the cup together, of the 2 cups, as you guys can see me doing here. I closed the dart at the upper part and separated it, so I got 3 pieces instead of 2 pieces. So now I'll go ahead and cut out my fabric, and I'll also fuse interfacing on all the patterns. So I've done that. I've cut out my fabric and my lining. So I made the fabric 1 inch longer than the length that I wanted, and I made the lining 1 inch shorter than my required length, so that by the time I'm done joining it, some of the fabric will be on the inside, and I think I just like that effect. I also cut out my cup patterns, but for the cups I cut out the lining in self fabric. So I'm not using lining because I want the cup part to be firm. So I made sure the lining was cut in self fabric. So now I'll go ahead and join the lower part of the cups together. So after joining it, I'm going to go ahead and join it to the upper part of the cup to create our cup. And this is what it looks like once I'm done joining everything together. So there I have my 2 cups and the lining for the cups as well in self fabric. Next, I'll go ahead and work on the front part of the corset. So I'm just going to join the center front to the side front, right sides together as usual. And I'm going to do the same for the lining. So I'll also join right sides together, center front to the side front. And this is the result once I'm done joining. Looks good. So I'll put that aside for now and work on my back. So for the back, I'll simply join the center back to the side back, but for the back we're going to have 2 center backs because we need a zipper that will be going in the middle. So I'll join the 2 parts, the 2 center backs, the 2 side backs. So now that I'm done joining the back, I'll just go ahead and attach my cup to my front piece, and just make sure to align your notches and just match your seams, match your notches, so you can get good results. You guys can see by the time I align it, it just cups and it comes out very well, like the way a corset should. So I'll also go ahead and attach the cups to the lining, the front lining as well. And now I'm done doing that. I will go ahead and put my strap, place my strap. So I cut out a 1.5 inch strap. I'll just place my strap, pin it in place, then place my lining right sides together. Make sure to align the seams and the cups and everything. I'm just going in now to pin it down in place, making sure to align my seams, my cups, so it just fits and comes out perfectly. And now I'll go ahead and sew the top part together. So I'm done sewing it. I'm done sewing the top. I will pull it all the way to the bottom and then sew the hem of the lining to the hem of the fabric, making sure to align my seams as well. So once that is done, just pull it all, pull the lining to the top, because you remember we left excess at the bottom of the fabric so that we can drag it up. So I'll go ahead and sew my side seams together and then but I'll make sure to leave a little bit at one part so that I can bring out the fabric, like bring out the right sides through that part. So you can see I'm done sewing now, and I'm just going ahead to pull out my fabric so I can have the right side on the good, so I can have the good parts showing. And this is what it looks like once I'm done. So now I'm just going to fold the edges together, that place where I brought it out from, and then I'll go ahead and sew it on my sewing machine, just edge stitch it. And this is what it looks like once we're done. I like this effect, I really love it, and you guys can see how well our cup looks. It's just really nice. Now it's time to attach the back to the front. So I'm just going to place it like that, and then I'll pin my strap in place as well. You can see as I'm doing it here. Just make sure to arrange your strap properly, because you don't want it to, yes, like not be aligned properly when you're done sewing. So I just checked to make sure my strap was aligned properly, and then I'll pin it down, and I'll also do the same for the second half of the back. So once that is done, I'll go ahead now and just place my lining right sides together. Make sure you know to align your seams and your notches, and I'll go ahead and sew that top down. And I'm just going ahead to do the same thing for the second half of the back, just pinning down my lining so it can be easy for me to sew once I go to my sewing machine. So now that I'm done sewing, I'll do the same thing I did for the front. I'm going to pull it down and sew the hems together, so the hem of the lining to the hem of the fabric. Just make sure to align your seams again. And now that I'm done doing that, I'll pull it up and sew the sides together, but I'll make sure to leave like a little bit so that I can pull out and, you know, bring out the good side once I'm done. So I'll go ahead now and pull it out. And this is what it looks like. I will go ahead, give it a good press, and then fold it in so I can sew in that edge, and it looks nice and neat. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I want to sew it such a way that she can actually make adjustments to it if it's maybe a little bit too tight or too loose, because I've not seen her in a very long time. So I just want to make sure, you know, she can adjust it, like she can make some adjustments if she needs to, but based on her measurement, this should fit fine. So now I'll go ahead and sew my side seams together. I'm using a 1-inch seam allowance for the same reason I gave, to make sure she can loosen it out or hold it in if necessary. So I'm done sewing the side seams, and that's what it looks like. It's really neat on the inside, and I love the result. Now it's time to attach the zipper. A short zipper would have been appropriate, but I don't have a short zipper at home, so I'm making use of this long zipper that I have. This was the only thing I could get. So I'm just going to go ahead now, pin my zipper in place, right side of the zipper to the right side of the fabric. So I've pinned it down, and I'll go ahead now and sew it. So after sewing it, this is what it looks like. It's really nice. I really love the outcome, and Yes, I think I was just trying to show you guys that, you know, I left some allowance inside if she needs to do some adjustments. So now I will just go ahead, measure about 3 inches from where my zipper ends and trim it. This is because I need to go in and fold that end of the zipper and stitch it down so that, you know, once I cut it out, the zip would not like just fly out. Yes. So I'm going to fold it now. I'll fold it down to the other side, and I'll just use my zipper foot as well to just sew it down so that other side of the zipper stays down. So once I zip it now, like, it just ends nice at the top part, which is what we're going for. So once I'm done with that, I'll use my hook and eye to just finish up the edge so that, you know, it stays closed once it is closed, because we don't, since the zipper stopper isn't there anymore, this will sort of serve as the stopper. I think no, it won't serve as the stopper, but this will just help, you know, to keep our fabric together, to keep the upper part together once it's closed. So I'll go ahead now, trim it even more once I've pinned it down before I take it to my sewing machine to sew it down. So this is the result. I'm really happy with it, and I can't wait for her to send me pictures when she rocks it, and I'll be sure to share it on my social media. So if you're here to follow me on Instagram, just check the description box down below and make sure to hit the subscribe button. See you guys in the next one. Bye.